Once upon a time, in a world covered with snow and shimmering ice, far to the north where no one dared to live, there was a small wooden cottage surrounded by glittering white hills. Inside lived a man with a big heart, a twinkle in his eye, and a laugh that could warm even the coldest winter night. His name was Santa Claus. But dear friends, Santa wasn't always the jolly old man we know today. Before he wore that red suit and rode through the skies in a sleigh pulled by reindeer, he was just a boy, a kind and curious boy named Nicholas. Nicholas grew up in a small, cheerful village where winters were long and cold, but hearts were warm. His parents taught him something very precious, that happiness grows when it's shared. Whenever Nicholas saw someone sad, he would find a way to make them smile. If a child's toy broke, he would fix it. If a family had no food, he would quietly leave bread by their door. He didn't have much, but he gave what he could: his time, his care, his love. One snowy evening, as he watched children play outside, Nicholas noticed a little girl crying because she had no shoes. That night, without saying a word, he placed a small pair of handmade shoes outside her door. When she found them, her face lit up with joy. At that very moment, Nicholas discovered something magical: the real joy of giving. Years passed, and Nicholas's acts of kindness became known across villages. People began calling him Saint Nicholas, the bringer of gifts. But as he grew older, he felt a pull, a gentle whisper in his heart. It said, "Go north, go where no one goes. There, your dream will grow big enough for the whole world." So one frosty morning, Nicholas packed a small bag, just a warm cloak, a few tools, and his favorite wooden hammer. He waved goodbye to his village and set out toward the endless white horizon. He traveled through mountains of ice and forests covered in snow, guided only by the northern lights dancing above him. After many days and nights, he reached a land of pure magic, the North Pole. Nicholas built himself a cozy cabin surrounded by pine trees that sparkled with frost. But he wasn't alone for long. From the snowy woods came little creatures, no taller than a chair, with pointy ears and bright green hats. The elves. They were playful, creative, and loved making toys. When they heard about Nicholas's dream to bring happiness to children everywhere, they jumped with excitement. "Let us help you, Nicholas. We can make toys faster than anyone." And together they built something wonderful: Santa's workshop, a place filled with laughter, hammering, painting, and music. Wooden trains, dolls, teddy bears, and puzzles filled the shelves. Every toy carried a sprinkle of love and a dash of magic. But how would Nicholas know which children to visit? That's when he received a special gift from the magic of the North Pole: a glowing book called the Naughty and Nice List. Every time a child did something kind, their name shone brighter in the book. Every time they did something unkind, the light dimmed, but never went out. Nicholas believed no child was truly bad, only in need of more love and guidance. He often said, "Everyone deserves another chance to be better. Christmas is about hope." One chilly evening, as Nicholas looked at his growing pile of gifts, he sighed. "How will I ever deliver all these toys to every child in one night?" Just then, he heard a soft sound, the clinking of hooves on snow. Outside stood a group of majestic reindeer. They bowed their heads and said, "We've heard your wish, dear Nicholas. We can help." Among them was a small reindeer with a bright red nose that glowed like a lantern. His name was Rudolph. The others had teased him for his shining nose, but Nicholas smiled and said, "Your light is a gift, Rudolph. It will guide us through the darkest storms." And from that night on, Rudolph led the team. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen across the world's skies. Then came the night the world would never forget, Christmas Eve. The elves packed the sleigh high with gifts. The reindeer pawed the ground with excitement, and Nicholas, now known as Santa Claus, put on his red suit, black boots, and fur-trimmed hat. With a hearty, he climbed aboard the sleigh, and with a sparkle of magic, they lifted into the starry night sky. Over snow-covered forests, glittering cities, and sleeping villages, Santa flew. He slid down chimneys, tiptoed across living rooms, and placed gifts under glowing Christmas trees. For every child, he left something special. Not just a toy, but a wish of love and happiness. Some children left cookies and milk for him. Others left carrots for the reindeer. And though Santa never asked for anything in return, the joy of those small gestures warmed his heart more than any fire could. As dawn began to color the snowy skies pink and gold, Santa finished his final delivery. He looked down at the sleeping world, smiled, and whispered, "May every heart be filled with kindness." When he returned home, the elves were waiting with mugs of steaming cocoa and laughter all around. They celebrated the success of another Christmas, the beginning of a beautiful tradition that would live forever. Centuries have passed since that first magical night. But every December, people across the globe still celebrate Santa's spirit in different ways. In America, children hang stockings by the fireplace. In Europe, some place shoes by the door for gifts. In many parts of the world, families gather to share meals, songs, and love. All in the same spirit Nicholas once shared, the joy of giving. And though the names differ, Saint Nicholas, Father Christmas, Kris Kringle, the heart remains the same. Santa's spirit unites the world, reminding us that kindness knows no borders and love needs no language. So my friends, when you see a Christmas tree twinkling in the corner of your room, or when you hear laughter echoing on a snowy night, remember this. The magic of Santa Claus is not just about gifts. It's about compassion, forgiveness, and sharing joy with others. Every time you help a friend, comfort someone, or give without expecting anything in return, that's Santa living inside you. Christmas isn't only a season, it's a way of living, a promise to keep love alive all year long. The story of Santa Claus teaches us a timeless lesson, that true happiness comes not from what we receive, but from what we give. Santa's magic isn't found in his sleigh or his reindeer. It's in his heart and in ours. So let's all carry that magic forward, not just on Christmas, but every single day. And as you celebrate this Christmas, may your home be filled with laughter, your heart with love, and your life with kindness. Merry Christmas, everyone. And remember, keep the spirit of Santa alive always. Wishing you joy, kindness, and a magical Happy New Year.